So hello everybody once again. Here we are back. I'm always grateful for everybody that takes the time to follow along with with the things that I do and the people that I talk to. And today I have with me somebody, and he's to be completely transparent about everything that we do here. I work with Silver. He and I are working together on this project, and we and the reason that I bring that up is that I don't want anybody to think that I'm trying to shine you on or give you something that isn't 100% clear. So let's just say that right up front. I work with Silver. He's my boss, and we wanted to get together and talk about what we have going on at Esports Labs, and so what we have is today is a special announcement happening today, January the 7th. And so I'm going to let him introduce himself a little bit. We're going to talk about what we have going on. Then we'll go into a little bit of an overview of what is Esports Labs. And that's an important question because what's going on and what we're building there is something it's something that you see in esports, but you don't see it all under one place, under one roof. And so that's what we're doing here. So I'll let Silver introduce himself, and then we'll go from there. Go ahead, sir.
Hey Bill, thanks for that. And I'm one that loves transparency, so I'm glad that you introduced this conversation as you did. Just because it brings a lot of you know, it just kind of puts it out there, knowing that we work together, and it's not about favoritism, but it's more about letting people know what we're doing and why we're here today. And again, my name is Silver Padilla. I'm the CEO of Esports Labs. We also own Esports Showdown, which is our tournament as a service platform. And, Esports Labs is, what we're doing at Esports Labs is we're creating a blockchain powered esports and gaming network to help unite the 2.5 billion gamers around the world. So that's really what we're doing. It's going to be a network where we're going to create our first party applications. And we're also going to allow third-party applications to also be part of our network or inject themselves and connect to our network and ecosystem. We're going to provide also our in-game currency, so this way people can, use that currency in any of the applications that are within our network and ecosystem. So that's pretty much really what Esports Labs is. It's a lot more details to it, but in a nutshell, that's what it is, Bill.
Right, exactly. And it's funny because when you say blockchain, it's definitely one of the buzzwords out there. And when it comes to a deeper description, I will get to that in a bit. But the main reason that we're here is that today, January the 7th, is a very special day for us. We have we're this is the day that we're going to launch the alpha for uh, uh, our tournament platform, and I wanted to have Silver describe what that means, what that looks like, and also give everybody the whole process. The whole process that they have to follow to 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 be involved.
Absolutely. So thanks. And yeah, we're very excited. It's our alpha. Obviously, other people will call it your MVP, but we want to make sure that we start testing out our platform, and we want to make sure. Again, it's not just a tournament platform. It's more of a tournament as a service platform, which means that we're building this to help developers, integrate their games into this and allow it to be more user friendly and more automated. So what we're doing right now is we want to make sure that we're on the right path, right? So this, just like anyone else, their alpha is to see what so far they have, what is working, what's not working, what needs to be updated, what needs to be corrected. And the only way to do that is to put it out there to have participants come in and provide their feedback. All types of constructive criticism is accepted. We want to hear what's working, what's not working. The most important thing for us is to make sure that we're on the right path, building make sure that we're building something that is going to be usable for everyone. And by that, when we talk about earlier explaining what Esports Labs trying to unite the 2.5 billion gamers, we're really trying to make it where it's very easy to use for all gamers around the world. So, you know, today, January 7th, you can go to esportslabs.io and you're going to be able to sign up there. It's going to ask for your name, email. You're going to have to download it. As of right now, we're going to be testing it only on Android, and then iOS will follow. So if you have an iOS, I'm sorry this time around. We would love your help, but unfortunately, as of right now, we're going to launch it on Android first for the alpha, and again later down the road, we'll jump into iOS as well and have all you wonderful iOS users come and help us out. So can't forget about, even though Apple's stock is going down right now, right?
Right,
Uh,
exactly.
we can't forget about them. So it's still big player in the market, but again, as of right now, it's only for Android, at least this alpha. But yeah, we appreciate it, everyone that comes and supports us. If you go, again, very easy, esportslabs.io, you'll see it says Esports Showdown Tournament as a Service platform. You would click on that, and that would pretty much walk you through the sign up process.
Okay, so it so is so just as a fast recap of what you said, so you go to the site esportslabs.io, and we'll put the link in the description. Esportslabs.io, and you'll see it right there. See it right there at the top of the page as soon as it loads up, and you click that and you follow the directions, and you follow the directions, and you're good to go. I th- Now, I think it's important to bring up, though, when we're talking about tournament as a service versus a tournament platform, because out there right now there are tournament platforms. You have CMG, you have UMG, you have all these platforms that that provide tournaments and events. So what is the difference between what they are doing and then the whole concept as a tournament as a service?
Great question. And as you mentioned, all these other platforms, UMGs, CMGs, MLGs, all these face it, all these guys want developers to bring their games to them, then they run all the tournaments for them. What we're doing is we're empowering the developers to have access the tools and services that they need to be able to launch tournaments from their own basically game, so from their own lobbies. They'll also be able to build tournaments themselves and be able to, through an SDK and API that will be downloaded to them, on their end, they'll be able to actually, again, build tournaments themselves and put them there where people, as they're signing up in the lobby of the game or main menu, they'll be able to click on tournaments per se, and they'll be able to join whatever tournaments the developer decided that they wanted to put up for that day. So it could be a leaderboard, or it could be a PvP, whatever the decision is going to be up to the developer.
So basically, what you're seeing is instead of Esports Labs being like CMG, where they have Call of Duty tournaments that are hosted and handled by the CMG staff and crew, all Esports Labs is doing is providing the platform and the the notifications and the overall structure to have the game be integrated into the platform. So the people that develop the game are the ones that are handling all the mechanics on that. Is that a fair comparison there?
It is. The only one thing in addition to that is that we will also have our own the ability to support those game developers that choose that they want someone to run the tournaments for them as well. So by providing tools for them to be able to launch, games right from their game title screen or menu or lobby, whatever you want to call it,
Right.
uh, we're also giving them the opportunity to, for us to be able to take care of that, take that burden off their shoulders so they could focus more on what's important for them, and that's developing the game.
Right.
So we want to make sure that we offer multiple tools and as automated as possible. So this way, when we came up with Esports Labs, the concept, we wanted to make sure that we provided the tools and services for them to be able to do their own tournaments versus having to depend on anyone else to host their tournaments, hoping that everything goes well. With that said, again, even though we're providing on the fully automated SDKs, APIs, we want to make sure that we're also there for them. And if they want to do a more of a manual type tournament, we're also going to be able to handle those as well.
So and I think the conversation around integration for some of these newer and upcoming games is a nice transition into what the other parts of Esports Labs are, and being able to allow games to have the full integration into the platform. It doesn't just help with the tournament, but it also provides some other 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 support along the way. Like, for example, if when it comes to the individual uh, game publishers having their own merchandise. So I guess sort of talk about how, if, for example, one of the games that we've been working with over the past couple of months, and we've done an event with them is is Splitgate. So Splitgate as a publisher puts on events, but what are some other things that they can also do in the platform?
So the one cool thing that we're going to be able to, provide, and this is why we're not just, Esports Labs, or Esports Showdown. It's the tournament as a service platform, but Esports Labs, it's the much bigger picture, right? So our first party, our first application, our first party application within our network, it's Esports Showdown, which we just explained. Our next one is going to be a gamified marketplace where people such as Splitgate are going to be able to come in and be able to put anything that they're willing to sell. It could be digital content, any type of digital asset. It's going to be, any type of apparel, any goodies that they want to be able to sell in addition to the game itself. So we're going to provide them that. We're also going to provide with that gamified marketplace. It's going to allow them to be able to come in and sell their game just like they would on Steam, Battle.net, or Discord, or any other platform out there right now. So when we're building this network, we want to make sure that we become a one-stop shop for any of these game developers that are upcoming and might not have the funds, as you know, like everyone else does, that has been in the market for a lot longer. And we want to be able to give them those tools and services for them to be able to come in and build their game. I mean, that's the most important thing is they have the stress of building the game, but not only that, they also have to build their brand. They have to, and with that, it's two things: brand awareness and brand loyalty. And those are the two biggest things that could make or break a game developer or publisher. So we want to make sure that we help solve those by being able to provide them with a network where they could come and do that.
Okay, so the entry point is for I won't say the only entry point, but one of the main entry points is the tournament portion when it comes to the game. I mean, the, so we have the store, have the store piece, and you have the content piece, and there isn't anything to say that a a brand can't be in the store if they don't have a game. I mean, if someone wants to sell shoes or hats in the store, that's fine too. But so let's talk about now, how does the blockchain aspect fit um, the whole thing? Because you have concepts like this out there. You have Steam has games. You have have a Discord that sells games now. And then just recently, within the past several weeks, you had the publisher of Fortnite, Epic Games. So they just launched their own store. So how does the blockchain piece sort of fit into it all?
That's a great questions, and I'm glad you're asking them, because what all those guys have in common is that yes, they have a store, right? So the way we look at I'm going to call them the competition for now, but we're going to switch that word here soon. So for now, the competition, what they all have in common is that yes, they're big, they're massive right now. They have a great big following. Obviously, Steam is the largest, of all of them. But the other two are going to eventually catch up, right? Now, you have to be doing something different, okay? So everyone else, what those two others, like you said, Discord and Epic, they're doing nothing different so far than what Steam has already done. So what blockchain allows you to do is that you're not just able to sell a game, but the number one thing that happens is what happens once you buy that game. What can you do with it? What happens the day after tomorrow that you don't like the game? What are you? It's yours. You already bought it. You can't sell it to anyone else. And if you bought it online digitally and you downloaded it, unless you go and give someone else your password and everything, then they can't get the game. You can't get rid of it. With blockchain, what we're going to allow to do is we're going to allow you to do digital trading. So how does that going to work? So just imagine GameStop was created so that if once you got bored of your actual physical asset, your game, your CD, your cartridge, whatever it was, you go in, you turn it in, you get some money back, and then GameStop would then sell it to someone else that came in, wanted the game, but didn't want to pay the ticket price for it, and they bought it cheaper. What happens? So there's a lot of transactions going on there, but are you getting the most value and bang for your buck? What we're going to allow you to do with blockchain, the way that works is that, Bill, you buy a game right now. Tomorrow you said, you know what, I didn't like it. You're not going to be able to get your refund. So what's going to happen is you're going to be able to post it up. And someone else could come and purchase it directly from you, and you're going to digitally transfer that asset to the other individual through blockchain using an online ledger that's secured, very transparent. So this way, no one is able to say, hey, he paid me or he didn't pay me, or I paid him and I didn't get my asset. We're going to be able to see all that, and we're going to be able to tell if the money came through or not. And we're going to be able to tell that the transaction actually switched hands from both sides. Now, going a step further than that, we're going to actually give a percentage of that third-party sale back to the publisher or the game developer. So blockchain allows you to do all that, where currently Steam, again, Epic and Discord are, they don't have that ability to do it. So that's where blockchain comes in. Again, that's just for the games themselves. The other thing that it has is smart contracts. So for you guys that don't know what a smart contract is, it's an electronic, agreement that you automatically get paid for any services or any sales, without having to worry about contacting anyone to collect your money. So everything is kept in again in an online ledger. You're visible to you as in the dashboard, visible to the person who the contract originated from, and both sides are able to see what type of transactions are happening. So affiliate links, all that, discount codes, all those things you could put under that on a blockchain and make it easy to pay out people.
So basically, basically what's going on with blockchain is that is that is that we're creating the network that allows assets to be traded back and forth multiple times, and then we're also creating a level of security for content creators, for teams, for orgs when it comes to um, being paid out for their for their services. Uh, 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 is that a good good summary there?
Yeah, and again, and also allows for publishers to be able to negotiate and be able to, again, because they're going to be able to get money from third party sales that otherwise they wouldn't be able to get. And what happens when someone doesn't play their game and someone doesn't want to buy it at the full price. So now we're helping them get extra transactions that otherwise wouldn't happen, in a digital world that, trading currently doesn't exist, or
Yeah,
might, but it's very hard to come around with publishers.
got it, got it. That sounds that whole concept right there sounds to me like a full-on podcast cast, cast conversation. When you, uh, it just sounds like a really deep conversation that you could have with two or three people, debating how that will affect everything. And I think that's a that's probably something that we'll come back to here shortly. But just to wrap this up and put a nice little bow on the package right from the start. So January 7th today is the launch of the January 7th today is the launch of the alpha, the Esports Showdown platform. You can go over to esportslabs.io. There'll be a link in the description for that to sign up for the alpha, to help us to test everything out, to figure out what works, what doesn't work, to see what the network will do when we get with 20 people, 200 people, 2,000 people, and more. So, Silver, thank you very much for for the whole conversation today. As like I said, as we wrap this up, is there anything that I forgot?
No, I just want to make sure that, everyone knows that we're building this. Um, you know, Honestly, we've been planning this for a while, and we're all gamers, as you know, Bill. I mean, I've been in esports for a very, very long time. I remember when MLG was, a thought and idea, and it was thrown out there, and now you fast forward 18 years later, and here we are, and here I am, and finally I see that there's a niche in the market that needs to be solved, and really hasn't been solved. A lot of people are trying to solve it, but they don't know how. And I think we pretty much narrowed it down on how to do so. So we're here for the publishers, the game developers. We're here for the gamers. We're here for the content creators. We're here for to be able to solve something in the entire esports and gaming community ecosystem globally. So.
Yes, awesome. So, hey, everybody, thank you very much for stopping by. So, like I said, there's a link in the description, esportslabs.io. Head over there, sign up for the alpha. It'll be going on for a while. We'll make sure to get everything tested. Stay tuned, because this conversation is not over. There's a lot to this. Blockchain, yeah,
Yes.
blockchain plus esports goes really deep. There's a lot of issues to talk about. So Silver, thank you very, very much for taking time for me. Hey, everybody, head over to thegamehaus.com, thegamehaus.com. You can also check out the Game Haus on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you.
If you liked that, hit the subscribe button for more interviews and other great sports and esports content. Make sure to also like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter to stay up to date on all the news from your favorite sports and esports players and teams. From our house to yours.